and softened his boldness. I discovered a man who was more than a field plow. He wanted what I wanted, to mean something to the world, to make a difference in someone's life, to be admired for the man he was. But we never achieved that mutual clarity. So this book, this record of a poor black father's appeal, is what any dying daddy might say to his son. More than anything, I want readers to reconsider the capacity of our fathers' hearts. Many of them were handed so little, yet we expected so much. They gave more than they had, but less than we needed. They were burdened with a notion of manhood that destroyed so many sons' lives. But they didn't know another notion to teach. In the end, many destroyed themselves, too. If they'd been allowed to dream, they might have expected sons who were not carbon copies of themselves. They might have imagined boys in all their glory, dancing before the world without shame. They might have granted a queer son permission and affirmation to be himself, regardless of the world's reaction. They might have known that some spirits come into the world to disrupt normalcy and thereby create space for the despised and rejected. And they might have understood, finally, that every son is an eternal blessing, if they'd been allowed to dream. November 12th, 2003. Dear Isaac, for a life like mine, there is no redemption. I wish I was old. Dying ain't so bad if a man is old. But when he's my age, 62, it's a sad and pitiful thing. If I was 80, I could die in peace. 80's a good dying age. But a man in his 60s should still have his strength, his good senses. My strength is practically spent. Every day, cancer consumes a little more of it, leaving me to wonder when it'll run out altogether. My mind, however, is still with me, so I should say some things while I can. It's been, 10, 15 years or better? After your mother died, days passed into years. I'm not long for this world. My days of grace are far spent. At the end of a life, memories are clouded. But perhaps, with what I'm about to say, you will know why I did what I did. Whether you forgive me or not will be up to you. You should know that during the years between us, I became a reader. I know this sounds funny, since you never saw me with a book, but in my darkest hour, your mother encouraged me to give it a try, and finally, for once, I followed her. I was horrible at first, mispronouncing words and skipping ideas I couldn't understand, but after a while, I got the hang of it and became pretty good. Reading was something I could do alone, so I stuck with it. I'm still in the house, our house, where everything happened. Not much has changed. The brown velvet sofa, worn and ragged, still sits against the wall like an invalid staring into nothing. The console TV went out years ago, but I never got rid of it. Instead, I put a flat screen on top of it. It looks funny, really, this shiny new thing sitting piggyback on an ancient thing. But with no one to impress, I rarely think about it. Your mother's high-back chair, where she sat many evenings reading ebony magazines or romance novels, rests where it always did, opposite the sofa facing the living room door. I imagine her there sometimes, thumbing pages and nodding or frowning or laughing out loud. Most memorable, perhaps, is the little oval kitchen table where we shared most of our meals. It reminds me of her.